I remember back in the 90s, a lot of people invested in Rogers Park apartment buildings and wished they'd never heard the words Rogers Park. Capstone, I think, was among them. The economics didn't pan out as people planned. Is that a fair statement?
I don't think people lost money in Rogers Park. People sold out. You know, I think that, as I was saying before, the age of the buildings, people were not like, people could put in a new kitchen set and sort of clean a place up, and they take over a building and they get a bunch of new tenants in, which they thought were good tenants, you know, but, you know, after living in an older building like that, and you realize that, you know, the windows are drafty, you know, you can't run your microwave and your hair dryer and your stereo and your computer at the same time, people move out, you know. So to me, when people invested in the 80s and 90s, people were not tuned to the idea that buildings needed a total overhaul. You know, I mean, the idea of converting a building to condos was a method of restoring and renovating a building and being able to make it financially feasible. I mean, now rents in the neighborhood are increasing a bit, so that, you know, it's even affordable to do a renovation and make sense as a rental.
You work with investment properties. What are some of the opportunities in residential investment properties? If you were out buying apartment buildings today, where would you focus and what would you buy?
Well, I like Rogers Park. I've always liked Rogers Park. You know, there's other neighborhoods as well, but you know, to me, you just kind of have to have a vision. You know, so when you see a building that's kind of run down, you know, you have to have, you know, I'm attracted to things that are kind of like dirty and run down, because I can see what improving them how it will change the building, change the neighborhood, and see what I can, you know, how I can affect that change. And so to me, if a buyer has to be able to see that in a building, in order, you know, so if you buy a rundown building and you just expect to run it as is and everything is status quo, you know.
Did you buy at a price today that justifies investing enough money that will return a level of rents?
Absolutely, there are deals around.
There are deals around, and so it's not priced at a level where you have to condo convert or any of that?
Right, correct.
Courtyard buildings better? What do you like? 4+1s, or that doesn't matter? You just look at the deal.
Yeah, it's all the economics of the deal. I mean, there's people doing some wonderful things with 4+1s on Sheridan Road, with renovating the facades, so that they're changing the facades so that they will look like older 1920s facades.
Oh, really?
Over a 1970s 4+1. So that's kind of interesting.
So you'll be fooled into thinking that there's soundproofing in there between the units, right? Because you won't know that you're moving into a 4+1. No comment from Alan.
You know, so there's a number of other developers that are doing green construction, you know, which is, you know, the developers that are doing green construction are seeing lots of activity and, you know, showings that
that has an appeal to the marketplace.
Definite appeal to the marketplace.
Okay, Alan, if if somebody wanted to get in touch with you to talk about investing in Rogers Park or selling investment property, how would they reach you?
They can call me at Hallmark and Johnson Properties. Direct line is 847-982-3211. Repeat, 847-982-3211.
For folks who don't know, Hallmark and Johnson has been an investment-oriented broker on the north side of Chicago for many years now.
We started in 1979 and created a niche for ourselves as specialists in investment real estate, commercial development properties. We don't sell individual condos, individual homes, so we sell buildings for business and investment.
Okay, thanks.